Coming at you.
Live from the My Insurance Group
You're listening.
Media Studio.
Heyo.
A-OK.
Hi.
Get at me.
Hey, everybody.
Warner Bros. Studios, get at me.
Home of the disappointing Eclipse Studio.
Welcome to the Homes and Homies podcast. You're listening to another episode with myself, Ernest Enriquez.
John Hanson.
James Cardenas.
Mike Litwin.
Mike hitting
Guess what day it
14K.
is.
Yeah, let's get drops. That's what we're gonna work on next. Is like, everyone's gonna have their own little cool little drop in.
Week about it. And you guys talk about nothing, but then you sprinkle some stuff in there and talk about nothing. So that's why I watch it or listen to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
there you go.
Nothing.
We're like the Seinfeld of
Podcast.
podcasts.
We're
A few nuggets in there.
we're the
Not
Stranger
kind of nuggets.
Things of podcasts.
Well, it's titled Homes and Homies. It should be 50-50. Like some of it is actually about
homes,
educational
estate.
stuff, and then the rest of it is just how much I hate soccer.
Oh, dude.
I looked for trends today. And you know
Yeah,
what's
just
trending the
sprinkle that.
most was flipping soccer.
Was it?
Yeah.
The last 2 days, the top two trending things were soccer.
It's because soccer's the
Boring.
shit.
People can't sleep. They're worried about the storms. We need something boring to read about soccer.
Yeah, dude. That just goes to show you, when you
No, that's baseball.
A lot of us just live in our own little bubble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's and I don't have the news personally. I just have YouTube, so they can influence me any way that they want, which is a terrible thing. But I do live in a bubble. Soccer's I don't.
It doesn't exist in your bubble.
It does not exist in my bubble.
For good cause.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
It only
Celebrating ties. So they changed that. You might get me as a change that, double the goal size. You got me as a fan. I'll
Double
watch
the
it.
goal size.
Goal size. It'd be a shootout then.
That just means it's hard to score goals.
It'd be easy
Right
to
now.
score. Oh, yeah.
Why do you want an easier score?
I want
some action.
points. I want points.
So there was a game over the weekend. It was
Can we have a league that allows steroids? You know what I mean?
I know it's like
hearts exploding.
Just stamping upon the ground.
I would like to see them to go, you know what? This is going to be very unsafe football. This is going to be very
blitz. Going back to the
Modern day
exactly.
I would
gladiators.
like to see I missed the highlight reels of the '90s, right? The 70s, I think, was with some of the coolest tackles ever.
I missed the
It's
Urlacher days.
Oh,
Yeah.
Urlacher.
Yeah, it's
those were the days.
He was juicing, probably.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know about Urlacher because he was probably around a little
He was
bit after
post-juice.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
post-juice. But all those players in the '70s, man, they were cracking skulls, cracking helmets,
Steelers.
destroying people's bones,
Yep.
just.
Did you ever see the movie The Replacements?
Yes.
Yeah.
You remember the part where he's like, "Go give me the ball. I'm gonna get you the ball. Go give me the ball."
Yep.
He goes, "I hope he doesn't kill somebody."
Yeah, I need 22 of those on the football field at the same time.
I mean, I'd
Let's
pay
do
to
it.
see it.
Yeah, I mean, that the longevity of the player wouldn't be as long, but dude, you signed up for it, and you're
What?
making millions of dollars.
Well, it's I could
So what if you
I
lose
could
a
see
leg?
it rivaling the NFL because it's hey, everybody that didn't get drafted in the NFL, let's go play some real football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
It's
heads.
yeah.
It's called the UFL. San Antonio
I
Brahmas.
don't see why not. The Rock could be quarterback. You know what I mean?
You're gonna have a 6'5", 280-pound quarterback.
I mean, obviously, still no no face mask and things like that, but
Right.
all that hey, no horse collar tackle, no this tackle, no that.
Right.
Tackle. It's nah, man. It's just don't grab him by the helmet and throw him on the ground.
We went 3 ambulances lined up, not just one.
Oh, for
They
sure.
hit harder in soccer than they do in football nowadays. What are you talking about?
And even soccer, juice them up, whatever.
Yes.
What's the other the
They're
alternative?
faster, stronger.
Oh my gosh! How
I mean,
fast
they're
would-
already pretty fast. They're running at an average speed of about 16 to 20 miles per hour. So
Yeah, that would be. It seemed do a header, just fly in the air. That'd be amazing.
Like a macro mackerel.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe if they shorten the field too, that'd be pretty cool.
It might be
Get
interesting.
skinnier.
It's called 3v3.
You know, what'd be interesting too is that
Sounds like John signing up for my indoor soccer team.
like
He's the goalie.
they need to make
Yes,
oh, go ahead.
if I will totally play if I can just play goalie.
They need to make a robot sports league. Like I know
They
the
already have it.
technology's not there yet.
Yeah.
Do they?
Did you ever not watch the wasn't
Not like
that-
Robo Wars where they beat the crap out of each other. That is a
fun,
sweet
though.
show.
I've watched every single episode.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like like a football team full of robots. You know what I mean? And like that will be there eventually. You know what I mean?
You have like the 12-year-old kid taking out the 60-year-ld grandpa. He's a little pissed off.
Or are you talking about if
In
somebody
Robo-
was
like in Robo-
controlling the robot?
In Robo Wars.
Oh, in Robo Wars. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it needs to happen.
It should. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, the UFL looks pretty good. Like, I watched the game over the weekend,
It's entertaining.
and
Yeah.
the San Antonio Brahmas took on the Memphis Showdowns or Show Melts, whatever the heck they want to call themselves. Anywho, their social media guy, I was watching Pat McAfee this morning, and their social media guy from the Memphis team tweeted too early because Memphis was destroying San Antonio. San Antonio came back in the fourth quarter or something like that because instead of an extra point, it's either 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points. It's depending on how far back you go for the extra point, which is really cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
So a lot of the teams don't kick field goals unless it's 4th and 10 and they're on the 40-yard line, right? They won't kick a field goal.
Yeah.
So you have
Glass. So
Right.
when they're catching the ball, they're flying over the barriers, tackling. I mean, you got your 7-year-old kid. You got to grab them.
Yeah.
so we
That's
had-
another
You gotta
thing.
sign a waiver.
I'll totally watch hockey again once they bring fighting back.
And once they bring a team back to San Antonio,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not. I mean, if they just bring fighting back, where it's hey, it's
did you
someone.
ever go to the Iguanas games?
I
back
did,
in-
dude. They were so
The
awesome.
iguanas?
It was
So
yes,
yeah. So and this is before we had the was it Raptures after the
it was
Raptors?
Iguanas back in
Raptures.
the 80s and 90s, and then early 2000s it turned into the Rampage.
Rampage. There you go. Yeah,
But the Iguanas were the brawlers,
dude. They
Were they?
We,
Bunch of
knuckle
yeah,
dragging
it's like
meatheads.
it's like
They
us,
were.
our San Antonio Iguanas may not have been awesome as far as their record went, but they never lost a fight.
It was one-on-one until the rest of the team came in.
It was a lot of fun. And then we went. I'll never forget my dad and I went to a game, and he was like, "Man, I went to a boxing match. I guess somehow they."
It's in there.
No,
Drink
and
service.
those were the Freeman Coliseum days. So literally, you
Oh,
were
man.
right on top of the ice. We used to sit up on the second level as a kid, and you'd be watching over and you'd see they're beating
Their
the
teeth are
brakes
flying.
off each other. Teeth are flying into the over the boards, and blood's all over the place. And I was like, okay, well, there's the first fight. I mean, we got 3 periods of fighting left to go. Well, John's right. There was 6 to 8, maybe 9 fights a game.
The iguanas. That's
Aren't you
good
ever worried about
quality.
taking a puck to the face because they're
There's
always slap
glass there.
shot? No.
Not back in the Coliseum.
There was no glass there?
When
They
you're
had
up-
nets.
Did
They
they?
had the glass, but they had nets just behind the goals.
Yeah.
Nothing on the sides.
And when you're
man.
up above the glass, you can step puck will go over and sail
Oh,
into
yeah.
the stands. You
You
know
gotta
what
be
I mean?
vigilant. It's just not.
I mean, my
Can't be
eyes
a
aren't
passive.
my eyes are not that quick.
Yeah.
Well, I went to a missions game last night, and the pastime, American pastime, is dying.
It
The
is.
experience is not there anymore.
Really? You
My-
didn't- I like.
I mean, the gameplay is good. Like the game, like the missions are awesome. I mean, they were beating the brakes off of the Amarillo sod cutters, whatever they're called. They
sod cutters.
They call them the Saudis, right? They beat them like 18-6 or something.
Holy crap, that is
and
a
they
beatdown.
swept that series 3-0, and they came back and lost last night. But
That's
I say the experience, like as a child, used to go to games and like be like, hey, throw me the ball, throw me the ball.
Yeah.
Now they can't even throw the ball because they have nets that run the entire side of
Oh, that's
the.
yeah.
So I mean, you got to like go and try and like finagle your hand under there to try and get a ball. My son was kind of pissed, you know.
Somebody, what was the event that caused that? Like somebody got rocked in the face.
People
probably.
just getting rocked by foul balls
Yeah.
because they're too. I mean,
Drunk.
when the phone. No, it's when the phones came out. People just.
Oh
were-
yeah, they stopped looking at the
It's like,
game.
hey, you came to a ball game. Stop looking at your freaking phone.
That's a good point.
Like,
Pay
pay
attention.
attention to the game.
It's like we always brought our gloves with
Yeah.
us, just in the hopes of catching a
Dad
foul
or your
ball.
dad had those big old meat hands and would just like.
For sure. Have you seen the video of the dad who is holding the little girl and the
baby,
baseball comes at him? He drops his little girl for a split second, catches the ball, and recatches her in midair. It's amazing to watch.
That's amazing.
You don't see that nowadays.
He's my hero.
But my son
And
was.
then he burps her.
Yeah, and he had a beer in his hand.
And then he gives her, and he gives her a ball.
Yeah, he had a beer in the
So
other
he didn't
hand.
drop the beer. Yeah,
Didn't
so
drop
he
the
just,
beer.
he's like, yeah, no, I'll risk the girl.
It's like $12 beer. I'm not dropping that.
$1,000,000%, dude.
But I mean, like you
Miller
could
Lite
see,
Premium.
he had a blast. Like he loved the jalapeno that was
Oh,
out
yeah.
there.
Oh, my gosh.
And
Thing's
Henry the
crazy
Puffy
looking.
Taco still
Yeah.
out there, which is nice. So
Still run around the bases that like 7th inning stretch.
yeah, they let the kid chase Henry the Puffy Taco. He caught him last night, so that was good. We didn't stay till the end of the game.
Wait a minute. Puffy Taco, Jalapeno. I mean, what's next? The Margarita Man?
Well, they do go by the name of the Flying Chanclas.
When is that? Is it coming up when the Flying Chanclas? I gotta
I'm
get
not
me a
sure
jersey.
when the day is, but we should probably go to the game.
Yeah.
Family night.
So we had a blast. We rented the for our whole office.
I sat in the $2 seats, dude.
Yeah.
Like, come on, don't show me up here. No.
Well, no. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
The food was pretty good there, actually.
We
Like,
sat in
so-
the suites where they catered
No,
to
they did do the catering. It was a lot of fun. It really wasn't that expensive. It was like
No, yeah, it's
like
not.
less than. I mean, when you broke it down, it was like basically $15 a person,
Yeah.
or
Right.
something like that. It was a really
Yeah.
reasonable deal. All you can eat, all you can drink.
Yeah.
You got some great seats on.
Yeah.
We had it on the first base line, but it was a great experience. I was like, man, I could totally see doing this like once a year.
It was a good atmosphere.
Well, I mean, if you're into the sport of baseball, it's good to go watch. But like as a kid, again, I kind of go back to the days where there were no nets. You could run up to behind the dugout and say, "Hey, toss me a ball." And they'd throw you a ball, right, or come and hand it to you. Those days are gone.
Yeah.
They can't. They have to throw it over a 30-foot tall net.
I can hear you.
They're big strapping men. They can do that.
I can hear your
They could do
childhood
that.
melting away as we speak.
Man, well, my son, I mean, he took his glove. He was excited, like, hey, let's go get. And it's not there no more. Like, you got to
Yeah.
stand on the upper level to hopefully catch a foul ball.
Yeah.
Missions, are you hearing this?
Yeah,
Lose
missions.
the
If you're
nets.
listening to this, y'all need
Yeah.
to kick those nets out.
I know.
Right.
Make people put their phones in clear baggies so that they can't freaking play on them during the game.
Make
and
them
pay attention to
make
the game.
them sign the disclosure when they come in.
Yeah, dude, just get
That's
slapped.
retractable.
You're killing the pastime. Yeah, drop the nets before the game so the kids can run up, and then pull them up during the game.
Yeah.
You know, my son was like Sandlot, so he's standing there. I'm like, maybe Bubba, like maybe a ball will come, but it wasn't there. So, I'll probably not go to another missions game unless I get tickets for free.
That's sad.
And then even
That
then,
is sad.
It really is like the food was there.
I'm gonna go to another missions game.
Go to the missions game.
Yeah.
Personally, I like the Nets because I'm that guy who's.
Yeah,
paying attention.
because I'm on my
I'm not
phone
paying-
half the time.
I'm
I'm on my phone.
talking to John. I'm like, this beer is good, isn't it? You know?
You deserve to get hit.
And then you hear a foul ball like that guy just caught a foul ball. You're like, oh, good.
I think there's a way that they could implement it to where it's still safe, but
They can have half this part safe, the other half at your own risk.
yeah. But I mean, like I said, I remember.
Do they
I remember
still,
going.
do
to
they
this
still
thing-
have the camp? Like, and I didn't really notice when we went last year, but do they still have the camping out behind?
the left field or right field, whatever it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could still sit in the grass.
See, that was a lot of fun. I remember.
That was
I remember
fun.
doing that, just like hoping for a home run because you can catch one of those, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
always being really sad because it never happened.
Right.
Doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I mean, that's fun. I mean, but I was hoping he'd get a ball, you know.
Yeah.
But I thought the nets would run to at least first base and then stop, and then like where they have the pitcher's dugout or whatever they call it, like it would be open. But no, it runs literally the whole length.
Well, baseball kind of lost me years ago just because it's not that much fun to watch for myself.
It's not.
And it's just too many games. Same thing with basketball. It's just too many games for me to keep up with.
They play 160 games?
160. But we had fun. It was a blast. He got to take his photo with the ball pin. David Robinson was out there last night, too.
Oh, awesome.
So that was awesome.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, even like their extra activities that they do on the field, like where they go and shoot the shirts, they have a problem with it. Like they can't get it. They can't get it over the net. No, like literally the shirts were flying open and getting caught on the net.
Puffy Dog, you got another one.
It's so funny. It's like, well, we built those nets so nobody could catch any shirts.
We're saving kind of cost.
They shoot the same 5 shirts every game. Nobody ever catches them. But yeah, plus it's far. Like when you think about it,
far.
It's over there off of 90s and Callahan.
They need to move it.
Whatever.
Man,
like
they
it
do.
needs to get moved.
But good thing you got back before that shutdown of traffic. That was awful.
We left in the 7th inning just because it became non-entertainable anymore. We're like, we're never going to catch a ball. Like it's 5-3. They're not going to complete a comeback.
Why don't you think they play in the Alamo Dome or something
It's
like
too
that?
small.
Oh.
The Alamo Dome is too small.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
That
Not
like
stadium-wise,
for
but field-wise.
a true San Antonian too, it's kind of irritating because the whole idea of the Alamo Dome was pitched to us that we could get a baseball team there.
Yeah.
And so all the San Antonio residents are like, heck yeah, we'll get a Major League Baseball team. We're gonna, and sure enough, they're like, yes,
By the way,
Yeah.
you're only 280 feet to right field.
I mean, what a great location, and that stadium is amazing.
Well, and there are talks about like a new center coming, like a new sporting facility that's supposed to be coming downtown to the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. Not sure if it's going to happen because it's going to cost taxpayers. Plus, that would mean that San Antonio Spurs are moving out of the AT&T Center, moving towards downtown again.
But they are talking about that too.
Another empty stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, how many? I don't really hear about a whole lot of events that go on out at the Alamo Dome. I'm sure there are plenty of that I don't know about.
UTSA plays there. Now the Brahmas play there. So it's getting used. Like you got Monster Jam, but
yeah, it gets used. And what's cool too is
to build a show.
Yeah.
It's a cool atmosphere too for the high school football teams.
Yeah,
and like they do a lot of that now.
Yeah,
we're like
that's where they play state and stuff.
Yeah, it's just a cool atmosphere, like because you feel like you're big time.
You do.
I still remember going back in the day to watch the Spurs play in the Dome when they used to put the net up.
Yeah.
So my dad worked for a crane company that would go hang the banners that hung from the 3rd floor, basically. So like as a kid, when I would go with him to work, I got to like shoot hoops on the court and stuff. Like I shot around with Dave Robinson's kids when we were younger.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then we went to games, and that's when the Miracle Day happened with Sean Elliott.
You went to that game?
I went to that game. I think I was there.
I watched the game, but it was on TV.
We were there. It was crazy. I just remember like him getting the ball and everybody being like,
the Memorial Day Miracle.
The Memorial Day Miracle. That's so cool that it is embedded in San Antonio culture.
Yeah.
Like people still to this day talk about that shot.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Except for Mike.
Yeah, well, you're from Chicago.
You're from Chicago.
You're
probably
the three
like
beats.
all I have to do is be like, Ditka.
The Bears.
The Bears.
You gotta just throw out was it the 74 or 84?
It's the 85 Bears. Come on.
It's like one of those decades.
What was the last time they went to the
Super Bowl 2006.
2006.
They lost.
That was with Cutler.
Yeah. Urlacher was a monster at the time.
Urlacher.
Super bummer.
So John, it's been burning a hole in my pocket over here to ask, but how was Kerrville?
Dude, Kerrville was not as apocalyptic as was originally thought. Yeah. So they were predicting over 500,000 people there. I mean, if there was, they sure hid very well because
where's Waldo?
Yeah, so we got there early just because like I didn't want to deal with like just the madhouse
and everything. Yeah.
But I was kind of curious, so we went out, Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and it was like, man, there was less people like out and about on Friday evening than a usual Friday evening in Kerrville. And then same thing over the weekend. It felt like there was less people, and they were like, okay, this is the calm before the storm. And there was quite a few people that came up for the eclipse. Yeah. So I'm not saying that there wasn't a lot, but not nearly
as much as
I thought. I thought so I drove by the river on Saturday for driving in.
Okay.
And so I just kind of looked down and I'm like, man, there's like only, a couple dozen people there.
They're all at Stonehenge.
And yeah, I thought that too. So I drove out by Stonehenge and they were setting up for what looked like a cool, eclipse festival, but not many people. And then
where was the one that Mike, you said that they shut down? That was in Austin, right?
I think so, yeah.
Somewhere in Bastrop County or something like that. Sunny, then it was cloudy, then it was sunny.
we had a little bit of sun, so we were able to see a little bit of the eclipse, and it was a cool experience. I mean, that's not going to happen again for a long time, so I was excited about it.
Were you on your knees and hands like, oh?
I mean, I don't know about knees and hands, but it was pretty.
The lawn chair was comfy.
It would have been cooler if it was not cloudy, because you could have seen the stars and stuff. But it was still pretty neat. I mean, it got
dark.
I thought it was pretty cool because I was sitting in my backyard and remember on a chair, and all of a sudden, I hear all the kids from the school down the street from Stubing Ranch Elementary yelling, "Ah!" I thought it was awesome. The kids were having fun still, even though they couldn't see anything happening. They just knew it was getting dark.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. But I can't believe people were paying the price they were paying
crazy
to see
money.
that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have done it.
I know we have a family ranch up in Comfort, which is on the way to Kerrville.
It's pretty out there.
And he had people offering him big money to come out there and see it.
Yeah, I don't need any freaks with thongs and fairy bunny things on my property.
For enough money, come on by. That's fine with me. I'm a little turned up. That's what you want to do?
You can be thong or thongless with Mike, apparently.
For enough money, I'll just put on my glasses. I can't see anything. Mm-hmm. It's not a full moon. I don't know.
Yeah.
You mean you don't want men running around in tutus and butterfly wings?
Women only, sorry. My wife would appreciate it, too. She knows. Thank you, honey. Love you.
He's redeeming himself for last week.
That's right. All right, so
what's next on our list here?
Can we do an episode of Scammers real quick? I got another scam.
While you do that, so I stopped by HEB because I had to use the bathroom there. Anyway, TM.
They have some great bathrooms.
They have some
shout
really
out
clean,
to HEB bathrooms.
It's almost like Buc-ee's.
Shout out to HEB on 1604 and 281 right here. We were able to find these cheeseburger potato chips. So we're going to give these a shot.
Yeah, we're going to see if they taste like cheeseburger.
We also found John some Carolina Reaper
Crunchers
chips. Yeah.
So Super Hot Cheetos.
Those didn't make it to the episode, to the part of the episode where we busted open.
John had that.
He couldn't control himself.
Shout out to Alamo Candy as well. Sour chili balls. We're going to give these guys a shot today. Give them a try. Looks like they have some beer logos on it. So best with your drink. So I don't know if they mean Michelob, Dos Equis, Dos Sexys.
And we have a beer right here. No,
and we got a beer from the San Antonio Brewing Company.
That's it? Yeah, it's got kick.
Yeah.
Well, what do you have for us, James, on this episode of...
All right, on this episode, today's episode of Scammers, let's get into the self-checkout theory.
Oh, man.
So,
why does that taste exactly like a cheeseburger?
Oh, the chemicals.
Give me that.
Pickle.
Oh, that's weird.
That's good, though.
It's like Willy Wonka, where you chew it, the longer you chew it, different flavors come out.
I mean, it unfolds, that's for sure. All right.
That's Angus beef.
Might be Wagyu.
I taste the bun.
I'm going to scammer it up on scammers this week. Self-checkout. So Montgomery man is accused of stealing from Home Depot of over 130 times in over a year. So basically what this guy would do is he would take his stuff to the self-checkout and he would switch the tags on it. And so for a higher price to a lower price item or whatever, right? He'd switched the tag and he's made over $20,000 in 1 year. And so, apparently he's going
to the big house?
He got busted.
He is arrested
130 times. So apparently it takes over 100 times for you doing that for somebody to catch on. Shout out to the scammers out there.
That's pretty good.
That's disappointing.
What do you think about self-checkout? I mean,
that's a little spicy.
They're kind of asking for it, aren't they?
I hate self-checkouts personally, but
it depends what I'm buying. If I got like 3 items, I'm self-checking. If I got a whole basket full,
yeah.
I don't know.
So are you saying you're not a fan of Walmart's $99 premium subscription so that you could use self-checkout?
And you know why they're doing that? It's because of this.
So many people are stealing stuff.
Yeah, and I didn't know if that was real or not. But is that true that Walmart's going to charge a subscription to go ahead and use the self-checkout? I'm not sure. I read an article about it, but $99 gets you self-checkout.
I might get myself into some trouble. But I'm going to say this.
But I kind of like.
I fucking hate Walmart.
Wally World.
Every time I have to go in there, my life is ruined for the next hour.
They now have the worst selection of candy. We'll put it that way. Like they hardly have any candy. Yeah, I had to go to HEB to find this stuff. HEB is the saving grace.
Watch out, dude. Walmart's got killers in the streets.
I know that's why I said I might get myself in some trouble.
Watch out now.
If I'm not back next week, you know who took me out.
So what about Sam's Club? Is that okay?
I like Sam's Club.
I've never really gone to Sam's Club. I just know that every single time I've gone into Walmart.
John's a Costco guy.
I do like Costco.
I hate Costco.
Yeah, but every single time I've gone into Walmart, it has taken me at least 30 minutes to check out, regardless of how much stuff I have.
What?
Just every single time.
Oh, yeah. You must be going that afternoon. You don't go for lunch to get it quick.
Walmart?
Yeah. Oh. I thought it ruined your day because some of the visuals that you see in there.
Oh, no, that's actually kind of fun.
He likes people watching.
No, it's just like you're literally like there's 2 registers open. There's 100 people in the store. Ooh. Like open up another register.
Right.
And then like the self-checkout registers, it's like if somehow they're not going any faster either, and you're just like, God. Like,
the self-checkout in itself is kind of a slap in the face to the consumer, especially when it first came out, because you're giving them your money and they're choosing to not employ enough people to get you taken care of properly. So you just do it yourself. Like, well, it's almost like tip culture. Like when did this flip and that was okay? You know what I mean? So, thanks, everybody.
These are sour.
Wait, I got to disagree.
Okay, go.
I like self-checkout. I got to just run in there, grab a gallon of milk or a loaf of bread or something like that.
Okay.
I like self-checkout. I don't have to wait in line. I don't need Sally from high school to check me out. I just beep. It's now $6 for a loaf of bread. I'm out.
Now, do you ever have the complaint, though, that you wish they would open more registers because self-checkout's jam-packed or something like that?
Self-checkout, you got like 12 lanes. Just one's almost always open.
I guess they've added quite a few.
Well, it depends on what self-checkout you're at as well.
Target versus...
If I go to Walmart self-checkout, I'm furious. If I go to HEB's self-checkout, I'm happy. Because they got multiples.
Yeah. They got people
there
to
like
help
HEB, for example, you go check out 10 items or less, you go to one checkout. If you have 25 items or less, you go to another. 15 items or less, you go to another. Like, it works out perfect.
Which makes sense. HEB is so much better than Walmart.
Right.
The Heb.
Shout out to the Heb.
They got haters.
Thanks, Mr. Butt.
Okay. Oh, my
Target
fault.
self-checkout. I don't know. I'd rather not stand behind somebody checking out like 30 pieces of clothes.
But I've never had an issue checking out a Target, ever.
No.
Like, they have enough people manning registers.
Yeah. I go to Walmart, but Target does have
you feel fancier when you go there.
I mean, I feel like Oprah. You know?
James wears yoga pants and latte.
You got to get the latte before you walk in. That's like a thing for women too. Like, you want to.
That pisses me off though. I miss the snack section, not the Starbucks.
Yeah.
I miss going in there, being able to get the popcorn. You remember the popcorn you used to be able to get at Target?
No, they had popcorn.
They had the best popcorn too.
I don't remember popcorn.
Well, I know something that tastes better than that popcorn.
What?
This right here.
These chocolate.
Look at that segue.
Oh man.
Ooh.
And while we open this box,
Well, I got a quote to address this whole Walmart problem. It's from John Adams.
did you just say Walmart?
Walmart? I did.
Walmart.
Chicago.
Chicago.
You had too much freedom. Did you want to get into a? Didn't you have
You
a
should
couple
try one of
topics that you had
I
researched?
want to talk about
Well,
inflation.
Yeah, Will kind of took the wind out of his sails.
I
He
had
had
a
like
bunch of-
20
I had a bunch of questions about roofing, but he just dissed me. Will,
Lay them
you're
on
dead
me,
to
Mike. Let's go. I'll give you a layman's term. I'm just kidding.
So, okay, here's my first question. San Antonio, hot. So the old asphalt shingle doesn't do well. Why don't we do more ceramic roofs like they do in California or Las Vegas or Phoenix?
Is it cost effective?
If you spend a little bit more upfront,
it sour?
your roof's going to last forever.
That's a good point.
So you're talking about tile roofs?
Yeah.
We're not talking a little bit more, though.
I mean, they're substantially more expensive, but if it's new construction, why not just build it in the price?
I mean, because you're adding...
Maybe that would keep our insurance costs a little bit lower.
I mean, that's
That's my next rant.
For me, it's like that's why Chinese slippers exist because they're just cheap and they get the job done, and you don't have to go buy a $60 pair of reefs.
Wow, this is awful. I don't know how you said that was good. He tricked me.
That's pretty delicious.
Yeah.
It's sour.
So, but to your point, I mean, literally, like the same, like tile roof is probably not just
Twice as expensive?
like 4 times,
Times as
5
expensive?
times as expensive. Yeah, like the tile is getting crazy. Like $110,000, $120,000 to roof something that would cost $15,000. You know. Everything dies in Texas faster.
And the insurance company won't give you insurance if you have over 10 years.
25-year warranty.
Yeah,
It's not.
I mean, that's that.
What is up
Again,
with that?
I wish Rule was here so we could.
I'd love
give
an
him some
answer on
shit.
that.
Yeah.
Will, if you're
If you're
out there,
listening.
He'll have to watch the episode and we'll
And
tell
number
him.
3 is why is the roofing bids all over the board? You can get a bid for $5,000 and $35,000
Oh,
for the same.
I can
quality.
I can definitely answer that
Bring it on, brother.
Go ahead.
because contractors are evil.
Will.
No, not Will. No. But that's why you have to have somebody you trust and that's honest. Because I mean, everybody should make some money, right? And so,
We're a capitalist society.
Yeah, everybody should make money. But it's like some of these guys that go unchecked are literally they see a payday when they think they can pull one over and like, okay, cool. Like that roof should probably take $25,000 to replace. That means I'll probably make a $5,000-$10,000 nut on it, but they'll probably double that. See what happens.
Sure, and so it's kind of like health insurance too, where if you have health insurance and the doctor knows about it, you have a really good policy, they're really happy with you, and because they can code everything the way that they want to code it and get the most out of the insurance company, right? So before insurance companies started clamping down, people were getting ginormous payouts, right? So a contractor could send in a ridiculous
Labor cost on a roof is
Here, Mike.
crazy. What is that brown stuff on there?
It's chamoy.
Why would you want to put chamoy on your...
Why wouldn't you,
I got to
right?
try it. I mean, everybody else is
Yeah.
doing it. Everybody else is doing it.
It's actually
It's really good.
way better than that nonsense. Sorry, Alamo
I
City.
haven't tried that yet. I don't know if I want to after
So-
John's endorsement there.
So did you hear about the Ready to Work program here in San Antonio?
Oh, I'm ready to work.
I'm ready to stop
So
working.
the Ready to Work program was set out to help people find employment here in San Antonio. And it came at an expense of about $30 million to the taxpayers
Oh, that seems reasonable.
here in San Antonio. Well, little behold, the program is falling short of its objectives.
What?
Yeah,
I can't
that's
believe
not.
that.
wait, can I say the next thing? And the money's not all accounted for.
And Nuremberg just bought a new house. No. But yeah, this says it's falling short of its objectives.
Sorry, Ron, that was not a shot at you.
Sorry, Ron.
I don't care who it's a shot at. It happens every single day, and it's right in front of your face.
Let's talk about this. They banned Chick-fil-A from going in the airport because they would not be open on Sunday. That comes at the hands of Nuremberg's decision.
Behest.
Well,
I mean, that kind of makes sense.
I kind of makes sense
people,
though.
People come in and out of San Antonio 7 days a week. I have nothing against Chick-fil-A wanting to give their employees off on Sundays.
And granted, San Antonio International Airport is wonky.
Yes, they are.
All right. Well, if we're going to talk about
I didn't mean
airports
to cut
too,
you off.
I got a bone to pick with Chicago O'Hare. So I landed
You got
2 years ago.
Get in line.
I landed 2 years ago in Chicago O'Hare at 8:30, and everything was closed. Why was there no food? Not to mention we got laid over.
Oh, dude, that was COVID times, man. 2 years ago.
We'll say maybe 3 years ago. It might be.
Yeah,
it was pre-COVID. Pre-COVID.
You got to walk like 3 miles to the airport anyway, so you're starving.
So we mean 5 years ago.
How I'm lost in my years.
Yeah.
Anywho, but yeah, everything was closed at 8:30. The lady at McDonald's gave me attitude because she didn't want to throw more fries on the fryer.
Dude, these Chick-fil-A things are really
but
That's
they-
actually, I was pretty impressed with that.
Yeah, there is a lot of attitude at a McDonald's in the airport, except for one dude. I will say one time he was cool. Shout out McDonald's.
Shout out McDonald's. But anywho, yeah.
So the right to work.
the ready to work
So
program.
what were the objectives? What were they supposed to do?
They were supposed to put people to work. So it signed up. They signed up nearly 5,000 participants. Only 724 have successfully completed training.
So they're not really ready to
And
work.
I'm assuming the ambitious aim to place 80% of these graduates into quality jobs within 6 months has stumbled, with the current placement rate hovering at 60. Job board specifically for ready to work participants. Didn't they already have that with unemployment?
They had a job. I'm pretty sure they had a job board anyway. Man, that's just.
It seemed like there's a big money grab going on here, but this kind of ties into housing because the more jobs we have, the better our housing is.
Right, and it sounds like
Or the more employed people we have,
That's better.
the better our housing market
and
is.
somebody gets voted into office. They say we're going to do this big initiative. They do the initiative, but the inside of the plans are shit. But they got hired in office, and they said and they did what they said they were going to do. So, thanks.
The other thing I want to talk about today is the fact that some home economists are now saying that tiny homes could pave the way to affordability.
I don't understand why we don't have smaller apartments like they do in Japan and China and wherever. Like, why isn't there a community like that?
Because we're Texans.
Well, I was about to say,
What
James,
the heck, man?
you live on 8 acres.
Okay, I get it. And you can't have a family, and you can't have, you know what I'm saying? But there are smaller units and styles all over the world, and so why couldn't we just? Why isn't that more popular here for investors? I don't understand. Can you even do a product like that, Mike, with one of your loans?
No.
Damn it.
Not yet. Not yet.
Like a 16 unit,
I mean-
like 450 square foot, studios.
So, I mean, the density is the way they're going to go. So, stick a bunch of units in a small location. It's going to drive down cost. And that's coming. I mean, they're talking about that. They're changing zoning so they can do that in different spots. Mm-hmm. So, your thought is coming.
Great.
Because they're not going to build wide, they're going to build
Go
up.
I think it's great. I think it's great for investors.
So James,
Solid.
when you
Okay,
want
let
to
me-
sell those 8 acres, give me a call. We'll put you in 100 by 100
I mean,
square
I'm
foot
not going
studio.
to do it, but it's like
It's always going to be until it's next to your house. So now, when right across the street they put in 600 units on 2 acres,
Oh, yeah,
how happy are you going to be?
Great point.
There was a big argument in Shirts about all this
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, and they actually had like an emergency council meeting over the zoning. They were trying to get a whole bunch of, because it's zoned for multifamily,
Right.
And so they were trying to get a whole bunch of the plans were to get a whole bunch of people in there, and all the neighbors were like, no, we don't want this.
Yeah.
Like it's going to kill our roads. It's going to kill. I mean,
I wonder if that was
Well, not only does it kill the roads, it kills the value of the homes that surround it.
It's always a good
Absolutely.
idea if it's in your backyard.
yeah.
That's a
That is
great
not a good
point.
idea.
And you know what I did not realize that I was throwing a fit over is that the zoning has to be there. And I didn't realize that. I mean,
Well, and San Antonio doesn't plan for the future if you haven't realized.
what's that?
If you all you had to do is take a drive up 281 10 years ago and been like, this was stupid.
Right.
They literally spent 15 years fixing 281. Let's put a stoplight on the highway. And then we'll do a turnaround, but not on this stoplight. Let's do it on the next stoplight.
Great point.
Well, and they just did that out by us. So they on O'Connor and Judson, they replaced the stoplights. They went from stop signs to stop lights. To now they're putting in a turning lane, so they had to put new stoplights in, which is stupid.
I mean, like 281 right now is great. I mean, you get to drive on it every day. You get to drive on it every day. I mean, it's amazing now, but it literally took an extra 20 years because the first time they fixed sucks though is you just see all that growth out and it's good, right? The growth is not necessarily bad. Like you see all that growth out of 151, SeaWorld. Alamo Ranch is almost like another city, and by the time they do get 1604 kind of squared away, it's
gonna be busting.
It's gonna be outdated.
Again. It's like, I mean, Chicago has like 5-lane highways, and it's just like you're sitting in a parking lot.
Yeah, Houston too.
Yeah.
Well.
Interesting.
Have you been on Houston and 10? It's like 20 lanes wide, and it's still a parking lot. And like Katy, I mean, it's huge highway, and it's still
right on the way.
It's been like that for years, though.
Something I will say is a sign of a thriving economy is traffic. So it's like it's just the price you pay if you want to live in a place that has a really good economy.
Yeah, the economy's good, but people need to be smart about what they're doing. Right. Don't go buy a new car. Don't go get in a bunch of debt. Buy your house first. Build that equity.
And the debate is crazy. You know, if you're not really looking at the numbers, people say the economy's great, people say the economy's bad. But Mike, what's the true indicator of what the economy, where it's at?
How much does it cost you to go to the grocery store?
Well, about $150 each time.
I got 4 kids, Mike.
Regardless of what I'm buying.
I got 2 teenagers. It costs me a kidney every time I go to the grocery store. And that price is never going down. Mm-hmm. The average price of the groceries over the last 2 years, it's like 100% more expensive. Mm-hmm. And I tell you what, my pay ain't 100% more to offset that.
Right?
In fact, they're coming after our pay.
The numbers they're looking at, which is the average consumer feels, are 2 different things. Mm-hmm. And they change how they dictate numbers. They put things in, they take things out. So if you don't need to eat, don't need to drive, don't need a house, you're fine. If you need those 3 things, it's a lot more expensive.
Sure.
Well, and to that point, so they're building townhouses right off 1604 in O'Connor now, next to Las Palapas. And curious minds, we went and looked at them, right, just to see what's
out there.
Well, $2,400 gets you a 3-bed. $275. But you're still in 78. You can get a house in 78247 for $275 right now.
That's a great zip code. Great zip code.
It's an awesome zip code. 78232 is a little better, but 78247.
I don't want to say it, but I live in 78232.
That's where those rich snobs live.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, if you look at it in that aspect, you know, as to like what people are paying in rent and how much home they'd actually be able to afford if they're actually already paying and qualifying for that property. Because most property management is going to require you to make 3 times your amount, which just by definition would be 33% of your rent would be technically your pay, right? In layman's terms, with mortgage, you're still about 13% under what your allowable DTI should be.
Possibly.
Somewhere around there, just depending on circumstances.
There's a lot of give and take.
But somebody who's paying that and qualifying for that should be buying a house, not renting an apartment. Say it.
So I know that because I do think, and I don't want, but I always like to play devil's advocate a little bit.
Yeah.
So there is always a good reason to not buy a house if you're not going to be in the area long. If you're like, man, I'm just going to live in San Antonio area for a year or two, and then I'm moving to Dallas or I'm moving to Timbuktu, like, you probably shouldn't buy a house. It just, the amount of fees that you're going to get gobbled up with, you're really not going to see a bunch of appreciation.
Right.
And
You might break even at best.
yeah.
Right.
And so, I mean, there's a different
There are
investment.
scenarios where you don't buy a
yeah.
house.
Right.
And then,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And then, like, the amount of money that you like. So let's say you move into a 1,500, apartment, right? Yeah, that's 1,500. That's getting burned up, right? But to live in something in an area you want to live in might be a $3,200 mortgage, right? Including property taxes and all the other stuff. And you could literally just drop $1,500 into a savings account. Or not even a savings account, like into certain investment vehicles with a smaller return versus appreciation.
Right.
But you're also not having to worry about fixing your air conditioner. You're not having to worry about throwing a new roof on your house. Even there's certain things where it's like I agree. 90% of the time, buying a house, buying real estate is going to be a long-term vehicle of wealth.
Right.
But there's certain scenarios where it's like, man, that doesn't make sense.
At the right
No,
time.
absolutely. It's got to be right for it's got to be right for the person buying the home.
It's not one size fits all.
Exactly. But
It's most, but not all.
a lot of the richest people on the planet have been successful and gotten rich off of real estate.
Again, I'm not deterring anybody. I'm just always making that little hey, dude,
For
if you're
all
not
your
gonna
home
be here
insurance needs. No.
Yeah. Yeah, and I that's kind of our shtick is home and auto insurance. So
speaking of that, the number one inflationary item in the month of March, auto insurance.
well, you know what Julius Caesar said: you live long enough as the hero, you watch yourself become the villain.
22% increase in 1 month.
Yeah.
I know mine went up like $30, $35 for no reason. Explain, John.
For no
Expensive
reason. I love
cars.
it. For no
All because
reason.
other people don't know how to drive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll never forget, and I'm not going to say the guy's name, but a couple years ago, I got this call, and he was irate. My auto insurance went up $130 a month for no reason. And so I pull up. He had 3 accidents and a ticket in the past year. I'm like, you had 3 accidents and a ticket. I know, and they increased my rate $130 for no reason.
You just paid out $30,000, sir.
Yeah.
You're only paying us $100.
It's kind of interesting.
But yeah, so I mean, I've said it. Probably James has too. Probably. I mean, they're going to make a profit. That's what they do. And
They need to break even at this point.
yeah. I mean, that's and I mean, we can get off into a bunch of the reasons, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of cat claims in Texas. There's a lot of claims in Texas,
And insurance agents want to make more money.
Insurance companies definitely do.
JK.
That's for sure.
I mean,
I always want to make more money, but I don't dictate the prices and I don't dictate the bottom line of the insurance company. So they're going to do what it takes to protect their bottom line, and we're just along for the ride.
yeah, and we've actually taken haircuts with numerous carriers as far as they're cutting commissions.
Most definitely.
And you're just like, so people are like getting mad at us. I'm like, dude, we're like, I hear you.
Yeah.
And it's not only the insureds that get coming for the agent, but it's the insurance companies too. Because 4 or 5 years ago, they wanted deep dwelling fire properties. They wanted it all, and now they come back to the agents and they say, "Oh well, you've got too many of this particular line of business," and it's like
That's what you wanted.
you wanted it, right?
No, for sure. Yeah, they were like the Statue of Liberty 5 years ago, and now they're like where's a place that doesn't want any
new people?
Any people? Like
great point.
they were like, give us that. Yes, give us all.
You're tired. You're weird.
Why aren't you writing more business? Why aren't you writing? And then the second the market turns, they're like, hey, stop! What are you doing? Why do you have all these properties with us? And you're just
Sure.
like,
Sure.
Okay.
And so what's tough is that they'll cut insurance agent commissions, right? And so we have a staff that we feed their mouths every day. And so if you're cutting our commission,
donuts, they're delicious.
they are. so you cut the owner's commission, but we still have the same amount of staff members, and so it's like they put us in a pinch.
Well, and with inflation, I mean, we're not crying poor or anything, but it's like we're not going to cut any staff members' salaries. We're just not going to do that.
Absolutely.
And then we get to experience all the wonderful things with inflation also, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like our triple net on the building went up like $2,000 a month, you know?
Right.
And so it's like everything's more expensive for us to operate also.
Mm-hmm.
See, you should have bought the building.
So you pass that cost along? Holy smokes. That's crazy.
Shut up, Mike.
Wait,
And that's the thing is
They're
that
upset because
Sure.
they tinker with everything. If everybody's making more money, it costs more for my Big Mac now.
yeah.
sure.
Well,
It's a cycle that if you keep jacking things up,
Yeah,
you
and
keep
I
jacking
don't-
up.
And that
don't
is
wanna-
a beautiful thing about our agency is that we try not to pass the cost along too much because we don't have any agency fees, right?
for home and auto insurance.
Right,
yeah.
so we remove those. So some of those, these are fees to keep the lights on for us and to keep our people fed.
We actually
we don't do
removed yeah. So we charged a minuscule amount on every single new policy years ago, and when all this started churning, we decided, you know what, we don't want to look like we were trying to get money anywhere,
Right.
Other than like from commission, and so we cut every single fee that we had for home and auto insurance. We're just like, dude, we're not passing any more fees to people.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Which reminds me of the ticket from the restaurant in Austin that had passed along.
Dude, that was a crazy ticket. You need to pull this up in a short. Like
Sure.
this
So
ticket.
the restaurant owner had passed along the health insurance as a line item on the receipt.
I know.
And so it was just a very interesting.
It was literally like 3%
receipt.
health insurance. And I was like, these pancakes were really good, but that health insurance was delicious. Hey, could I get a side of pension?
Exactly. So that's just and that's the state of it. And for another day we'll talk about people not having primary doctors because the insurance sucks. So.
Could you give me a water bill? Hold the ice.
I had seen this video. Let me see if I can find it so we can play it. But while I look for it,
and the country's built on small business, and the small business does a lot for the country, I guess I should say. So it's just a pinch on small business, man, and it's tough.
hold on, I'll play this on here.
Here, look, here, I got this.
Oh, look at it. Plug it in. We get some quality audio here. We are
yes.
high tech here at Homes and Homies.
But I wonder if the audio is going to come out
Yeah, it will.
if I put it on the TV.
Oh no, don't put it on the TV.
Okay,
Just
well
put it on here.
let me take it off the TV. Show on phone.
Would you like to go shopping? I'm going up there.
Hold on a second.
Sunday.
Do that.
So basically, and we're probably not going to hear it in here because we don't.
Is it playing? Not yet. Oh, is it already
whoops.
playing?
It's on a
Did you
TV.
try the boudin?
It was delicious.
Which one did you try?
All right, here,
I just
here we
tried
go.
the
It's going to
regular.
start playing now.
It was good.
I'll take it.
All right, it is playing.
Yep, it's good.
So this is a video.
Is that SpongeBob?
No, this reminds me. This is kind of what we're talking about right now, where it's essentially a video that's going like, "Do you want a tip?" And he says, "No." He's like, "Do you want to feed starving children?" I guess I'll donate $1. Oh, but no dollar for Tippy? Like he's the little
Tea
guy,
guy.
yeah. Tip for Tippy?
Processing the tips. Well, how about I just don't tip and then
He's
there's
like,
nothing to process?
But this
I
is the
guess
process.
I'll tip you,
Explaining
so he gives
tipping
him like
and where your
$1.
tips go is part of the process. Does that make sense?
Kind of going into
Yeah,
your trickle down
yes.
effect, right?
So
Where you're
a tiny
passing.
tip for tipping?
Your passing effect.
Fine.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's sad because not all the money that goes from those tips goes 100% to
Where's it
where they
go?
say it goes to the company. They may say 50% of this goes to the association, but the company keeps the other 50%. Fine writing, fine print.
But,
That's BS.
but he ends up not checking out because he tipped Tippy, but now Tippy Jr. wants a tip.
Sorry, Mom.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it goes. I mean,
I've had to start training my brain as far as tip culture goes to
Yeah.
just be like, no, like hit no tip, like, and it's very hard for me to do because I want to people please, you know.
Well, for sure. Well, in like the waiter or the waitress, that's literally how they
their pay.
make their money,
Right,
right? And so it's
exactly.
like, unless they were awful, it's 20%,
Sure.
right? Like, dude, I'll just pay you 20%. Like, and they're not making a killing.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
making
Well, for
$2.85
sure.
an
And-
hour that
and
they're
I
not
was
going
gonna say you got to disclose that here.
yeah.
Texas minimum wage
Yeah.
with the
They're
tipper is
$2.85 minimum
wage.
wage
Sure.
with tips. And they're not seeing the $2.85, so they're literally surviving on whatever you're giving them.
And I know you used to be in the restaurant industry,
Yeah.
and I
And
love that. Now let me ask you a
it's-
question.
But
Go ahead.
But the same thing goes for like, why am I tipping somebody that just
when I
They,
ordered on the
scan
touchpad,
something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like-
and I did your job, and I have to tip you for me doing your job.
Right. I went to the refrigerator. I grabbed a frozen meal. I brought it to you. You scanned it, and it's asking me if you want a tip. And
Yeah.
you're disappointed and looking at me crazy that I didn't put $1 or $2 tip on that.
yeah?
But would you be mad if they put their health insurance on there?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, as an owner, you just pass that cost on a different way
Right.
if you choose to. You know.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's like don't charge $2.50 for pancakes. Charge $3 for the pancakes. I don't really care. Like.
Alamo Draft House.
Ooh,
Yeah. What about it? I like
it's
that
for
place.
sale.
Well,
What are you talking about? Like when they go to your seat?
and they give you the automatic 18% service charge.
Oh.
Hey, but that's automatic. They have that's their shtick, man.
So are
haven't
you
been on
asking
one.
like do you
So the
tip on
theory,
top of that?
what is tip? Tip stands for to ensure prompt service. You've now
Oh, snap.
taken that out of the equation. I give you crappy service, I'm still making 18%.
Do they give you crappy service?
It depends on the waiter. Some people do great
Okay.
service.
Yeah,
Others
the
are
draft
back there
house
smoking crack.
is
I don't know
hit
what they're
or
doing.
miss. I don't know if you've been to the draft house or not.
I
but
haven't been recently just because.
I mean,
it's
sometimes
hit
you
or
get really
miss.
good people,
Is
and
it
I give
really?
them a little more.
Well, they come in like at the beginning and they take your order, and then they come in like 20 minutes into the movie with your order, and then they ask you if you want anything else, and it's like, yeah, sure, I'll take a beer, and then they come back with your beer with like 10 minutes left in the movie.
I understand that.
So it's
Sure.
it's one of those things where I get it. Like it's not that great of service. It's not prompt.
It's
right?
supposed
Like
to be a reward for good
Sure.
service.
It's kind of like airplane service.
For over and above.
Yeah.
For
they
doing
should
a
have
good job.
a tip jar where when you fill your own soda at restaurants, you get to take your own tip.
Yeah.
So there's a. No, I'm not gonna bring it up.
Okay, I got a plane hack. I got an airplane hack for anybody who likes to go on, when you're going on a trip with your family, you want to get some good service on the airplane from the lady,
Stewardess.
the stewardess, right? See me later, and dude, they're on it. They're like, they love you because nobody tips on those things, man. So if you tip before you
So
get
why,
on,
why doesn't a stewardess get a tip? I mean, they're running up
James
and
is
down.
like James is like they
James
do.
is-
I'm just one of the
yes.
few people that do it.
I just hacked it.
Setting the bar.
And if
setting
you
the
tip
standard.
before rather than when they come up to you, they're already like
They're on it.
they love you, baby.
So do you
hack.
tip your Uber driver?
Sometimes, yeah.
Especially if they were great.
If they're
but-
friendly, give me a
If
water.
they, man, if their conversation, like some of my best conversations have been with Uber drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're in a foreign land and they're driving you somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like,
Especially in San Diego.
I will say, Uber drivers, don't talk politics. It's bad for your tip.
Unless you're on the right side of the table.
Well, so we have
Unless
this
you're
one
wearing
Uber
red.
driver.
Unless
We're
you're
talking,
wearing
and
red.
he asked me a question. I said, "Of course not." After that, there was silence.
Dun, dun,
He wouldn't say a word to me. He would look at me.
Sure.
Because we're obviously on the other side of the aisle.
Hey,
Yeah.
but some of those
Guess what we got for a tip?
Some of these Uber drivers are getting like fancy. I got an Uber and he had like a little concession snack station in the back,
Oh,
like
dude.
hooked on the seat.
Put a little
and was like
mint.
That
complimentary.
deserves it too.
A little charger.
Yeah,
You charge your
it
phone.
was like complimentary Cheetos, and I was like,
Now,
oh.
now I do like I had an Uber in Seattle. I'm not tipping a percentage because that was a $70 Uber ride. You know what I mean? I mean,
To
it
go
was
3
just
blocks.
it was about 8 or 9 miles. It really wasn't that like it
10 bucks
was.
a mile.
Yeah, it was from the airport. No, maybe 16 miles. So it was from the airport to Redmond.
Yeah.
and so, but it's not that far away, right?
No, it's not.
And so,
But it
man,
probably still took you like 45 minutes.
it was like a 70. It didn't take that long, but it was $75 for the Uber ride. A nice guy, but it's like I'm not going to tip you 20% or 25% of this. It's like you. I feel like I just got gouged on a $75 ride.
The perfect Uber driver would be the men's club attendant. Got all this stuff, and he just takes it off the men's club attendant, takes it to his Uber car, and then does that for a little while. Oh, he's got the mints and all the.
I don't remember where I was, but they had Matador.
Oh, dude,
You
they
go
serve
to
you beer and everything?
Matador, they serve you beer, like mixed drinks, and they have the cologne. So after you get your hair cut and your neck
Yeah.
shaved, like
Yeah, there's a couple of them with full bars inside. You're
it's right
just
here off
like-
of Redland, 1604 in Redland. Shout
Yeah.
out to Matador.
Matador.
for sure.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's in the box?
Yes.
Okay, what's in the bar?
What is in the box?
Inflation. Inflation is in
Right.
the box.
Doesn't look like shrinkflation. It looks pretty good.
Okay,
I
so
don't think the box can contain inflation.
I am going to totally
Don't let it out of the box.
ruin the name. I'm going to totally ruin the name on this chocolate place that's down on 1604 in Blanco in San Antonio. It looks like it's called Delice, and it's a chocolatier and patisserie. I'm sure I screwed that up.
Interesting.
So basically, I got 12 of these little special little chocolate things.
Oh, look
looks
at those
amazing.
things.
And they were $24, and so I'll give you the names of them right now, and then you guys can and then we can
Do you have
just
to arm
try a
wrestle over
couple
them or
of
just?
No, we'll just try a couple of them.
I'm patiently waiting. I like
okay.
one of
Beat
these
that last
two.
chamois guy.
Dude,
These are
good.
actually really
I feel-
delicious.
So-
These you could actually get off the TikTok shop. They have a kit that you can buy that comes with the Lucas Swinkles. Swinkles is what they call them. With the chamoy, and they even come with some sour chili balls as well as the pickle.
Did everyone eat one of
And
these?
they all come from the Alamo Candy Company, so you can find those on the TikTok shop on the showcase. Go
I
ahead
gotta
and
try
smash
it.
that
It
button.
was awful, wasn't it?
Chocolate Snow Rock is
Chocolate
this
Snow
one.
Rock.
There you go.
I don't know if I want a chocolate Snow Rock.
Snow. The
You don't want to eat the
chocolate
chocolate before you eat
snowed
the.
rock.
No, actually, no, I don't know.
I'm going to put this over here. Just save it for later.
Okay.
You take a bite out of it, Mike.
Yeah, I got
Everybody's doing it.
I got a little
Okay,
butter chaser.
John. The champagne truffle.
Oh, the champagne. What is that square one there?
The boxy. Which one? The boxy one.
Ooh, John's has beef.
That's
Oh,
got
this guy's
gold
like
on it.
That
That-
looks like it's
That's a
it came
gold
from
right
the men's
there.
club.
The
That's got gold on
geometric
it.
one is the. I will tell you, the chocolate diamond.
The chocolate diamond.
Yes, that's the geometric one. How? Okay.
How is it, John?
How we doing?
That gold is legit.
Okay.
No, it's really good.
Does it taste like real gold?
So I love dark chocolate. That's why he handed it to me. It's
Yes, I know him that well.
yeah.
I love gold.
I love gold and dark chocolate.
Okay. Ernest, the turtle tequila.
Ooh.
Bam.
Not bad.
What do you have? Is that?
That's the sour chili. Sounds like
yeah.
everything is salt.
Oh, I thought that's not the. I was like, that's not the chocolate.
That was awful.
I mean, compared to some
Okay.
other stuff.
I have a
Yeah, when you
almond.
compare it to a dead fish, jellyfish.
I have an
Dead
almond truffle amaretto or almond amaretto truffle.
Ooh, this one looks good.
Oh, that one looks fabulous. What is that? What's that last one over there? I can't decide yet here.
There's 3 more in
Oh,
here.
there's 3 more.
This one looks like
Looks like
something
a
funny.
walnut.
Or something else. That's funny.
Now, how many shots of a tequila is that? Woo.
Oh, look at
Can you
that.
taste it?
Oh, is this
yeah.
Crown Royal?
Okay,
Got the
so
Crown Royal.
now the crown one is the chocolate crown filled with a dark chocolate. Filled with chocolate and cream.
Oh.
Okay. What other one are you looking at?
What's this guy with the sprinkles?
The
Dark
sp-
sprinkles.
The sprinkles, the black the dark sprinkles.
Dark sprinkles. Some call it dark chocolate.
Did you have the red sprinkles on top? Who had? This one is the chipotle truffle.
Ooh. Pass on that guy. I
Right.
don't want Chipotle in my chocolate.
Show me the one you got. The dark sprinkles.
Dark
on
chocolate.
top.
It doesn't look like dark chocolate though.
The sprinkles do.
Yeah,
Milk
Sprinkles.
chocolate. So let me know that dark chocolate is the best chocolate out there. White chocolate's not even chocolate. Why do they even have that? White chocolate, that's a abomination.
An abomination.
And milk chocolate
Mike,
is
I didn't
past.
get
I'm going in
I
for
didn't get the
Chipotle, guys.
name on, I didn't get the name on that
I'm
one.
going in. Go. Going in hot.
That dark chocolate crown looks like it's got my name on it. The Chipotle can't actually be Chipotle.
So wait, what was this one?
Over at Delice to identify that one.
The
which
sprinkles.
has dark
sprinkles.
black sprinkles
There's
on
definitely a
it.
hint of salt in here. Maybe a salted caramel,
Okay.
maybe.
Yours tasted like
No,
tequila.
it looks like white chocolate, but the
that was
inside
tequila.
looks like dark chocolate.
No, that's milk chocolate.
Okay.
Dark chocolate, maybe.
So let's figure out what the butterfly is.
Butterfly
In the
kisses.
sky, I can go twice as
All right,
high.
I'm done.
Okay, butterfly is dark chocolate filled with homemade soft caramel and Himalayan pink sea salt. That one's fire right there. I'll take that. Thank you.
Bam. James, good call on the chocolates.
Yep.
Those were right.
Those are delicious.
Those were
Definitely.
good.
Yep. So
Those were right.
yeah. So going over to
So wait, what was this one?
which one is that one?
It's delicious in a container.
That one is called
It's got a picture of a woman on it.
the Leone milk chocolate filled with Nutella.
Ooh,
Yes. So head on over there. We got 12 for $24. They're, I wouldn't say they're pricey. They're priced just right.
Their price just right. That's decadent. That's
Right.
Decadent.
That's
Decadent.
decadence.
Sure.
That's elegance at its finest.
Sure.
I feel like I'm a
Chicago mobster.
well, no, but I feel like that was like some fancy dancy chocolate.
Lisa
that was worth
Vanderpump.
worth every penny.
Awesome. Yeah. So they're handmade. They're handmade. Their stuff there. So
Those are good.
Like
Homies podcast where we bring you the latest real estate information, mortgage information, insurance information, and do some crazy stuff.
local eatery information.
Local eatery.
Good stuff. Thanks, guys.
It's a wrap.